Prince Charles, heartbreak. How did Charles react while Camilla married a person else? Prince Charles and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, currently celebrated their 15th wedding anniversary, but their avenue to marital bliss becomes some distance from clear cut. Right here, how Prince Charles reacted while Camilla married a person else. A royal biographer has claimed Prince Charles, 71, and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, 72, tied the knot on April 2005. A long time once they first met. Charles and Camilla dated for a stint within the early 1970s when Camilla's on-off boyfriend Andrew Parker Bowles changed into far away from Britain with the Navy. At the same time as Prince Charles becomes said to be besotted with Camilla from the beginning, he became now not equipped to endorse to her after a year, and they have been separated in 1973 when Charles launched into a tour of the Caribbean as part of his naval training. Charles's departure coincided with Andrew Parker Bowles' return to the United States, and he and Camilla announced the engagement soon afterwards. Writing in arrogance, fear into a five, royal professional Bob Colaccello claimed Prince Charles become bowled over by means of the news. Mr. Colaccello wrote, by using the fall of 1972, Charles became completely desirous about Camilla, however, certainly not equipped to take the massive step of asking her to decide to a royal marriage. He turned into additionally because of depth on an 8-month excursion of the duty inside the Caribbean at the start of the brand new 12 months. That spring, Charles, who were faithfully writing to Camilla and receiving reassuring replies, acquired a double shock. Princess Anne changed into going to marry Captain Mark Phillips, and her son debut, Andrew Parker Bowles, had subsequently proposed to Camilla, who had customary. Mr. Colaccello introduced Charles, become at a loss to apprehend how Camilla ought to so unexpectedly position aside what he described in a letter as this sort of happy, non-violent, and collectively satisfied dating to make topics worse. While Charles languished in the West Indies, his first proper love and erstwhile rival had been united in what the papers called the wedding of the year, even as some royal professionals called Camilla changed into set on marrying Andrew from the beginning. One biographer has claimed the engagement declaration was forced by using Camilla's father and Andrew's brother. In a Prince Charles biography, creator Sally Battle-Smith accused Camilla's father of conspiring with Andrew Parker Bowles' brother to end her relationship with Charles at that time. She claimed Camilla's father and Andrew's brother used Charles' absence as a threat to pressure Andrew and her to marry. Miss Smith wrote, they intervened with the aid of publishing an engagement observed within the instances on March 15. His hand publicly compelled, Andrew proposed to his girlfriend of almost 7 years. A crestfallen Prince Charles was reportedly taken aback when he heard the information of Camilla's pending marriage. Miss Smith wrote, he could not have apprehended how such a blissful, non-violent, and collectively glad dating had ended so. After one of those promising start, Andrew and Camilla introduced their engagement inside the instances in 1973 and married on July 4th, the equal 12 months. Prince Charles married Diana nearly a decade later in 1981. Years later, Diana publicly blamed Charles's extramarital affair with Camilla for the wreckdown in their marriage. In a 1995 BBC interview, Diana stated there have been 3 human beings in a marriage to Charles and brazenly noted his affair with Camilla. Camilla and Andrew divorced in 1995, and Charles and Diana ended their marriage a year later. Princess Diana's tragic loss of life in an automobile crash in 1997 made Charles and Camilla's marriage an impossible prospect for many years. They finally introduced their engagement with the Queen's consent on February the 10th, 2005. Frederick and Mary from Denmark, their surprise move away from Copenhagen. Frederick and Mary from Denmark have chosen to settle on the outskirts of Copenhagen, and more precisely in their second home. The reason for this surprising move remains unknown. The royal Danish house has announced that Crown Prince Frederick and his wife and children are obviously moving. From Friday, April 24, 2020, the Crown Prince and their 4 children will settle in the chancery of the Castle of Fredensborg, where their Royal Highnesses will stay in the coming months. It is written in a press release published by the Danish court and taken up by the Royal History's website. They will leave Copenhagen, and more precisely the Frederick VIII Palace in Amalienborg, for Fredensborg, a town located 40 kilometers from the Danish capital. They have a second home in which they plan to spend all their time now. Note that it was in Fredensborg that they lived until 2010 before settling in Copenhagen to facilitate the missions of the Crown Prince. The couple settled after their marriage in this dependence of the Castle of Fredensborg called Kancellihuset, translated by Chancellery. They used to go back there during the vacation, a series of moves. For some time, the couple has accumulated disappointments after controversy, and then the Danish prince's ski incident. It was the coronavirus that put an end to their holidays in Switzerland and the sabbatical quarter that they decided to offer to their children, Christian 14 years old, Isabella 13, and twins Vincent and Josephine 9. They had spent 12 weeks in Verbier, Switzerland, saying that they wanted to give their offspring a common experience in an international environment. Quite recently, it was the second son of Queen Margrethe, Prince Joachim, who returned with his family to live in Schackenberg.